welcome back to another video. Today I have a story time that I've been waiting to share with y'all and wanting to share with y'all, and I've been procrastinating honestly on sharing it with y'all, but I really don't care because, you know, we've moved past this, right? This happened years ago, so it's about to be 2025. I'm about to be 25. This happened when I was 17. So as the title can tell, this is basically about the time I went to jail. I went to jail when I was 17, and the story time behind it gets crazy. So get your water ready, get your food, get your snacks, because it's finna get good. So basically this was the summer of 2017, and my age obviously goes with the year. I was 17 at the time. So I had just, you know, school was down. My cousin, she was only like, what? She was only like 2 years older than me. She was 19, I was 17, so cool. So this like my cousin that we did everything together. Like me and her, like Bonnie and Clyde, like we was, you get what I'm saying, Phineas and Ferb, to like, we did all our dirt together. Everybody have a family member like that. This was my cousin. We had this kind of bond that we just, you know, we did our dirt and we went down together. No one but, what they say, no one man above the group. We fall down together. So that's how it was. So I remember it was the summertime and I was over her house. I would always go over her house. That was like my favorite place to be because, you know, all my other cousins was there. So like we just always hung out. So she had her friends that were also there, and we gonna say their names were we gonna name one, what we gonna get their names? We gonna call one Pinky and we're gonna call the other one Jimmy. I don't know, Pinky and Jimmy. So Pinky and Jimmy, honestly, I could use their real names because it's nothing like that really, like, you know, messes up their character, but other than that, like, it's cool. But so Pinky and then Jimmy Pinky had texted my cousin and was like, yo, I think we should give him a different name. We gonna give him a different name. We gonna give him what we gonna do? We gonna call him, what we gonna call him? We gonna call him Sean, right? We gonna call him Sean. So Sean and Jimmy, right? So Sean texted my cousin and was like, yo, I gotta be in Atlanta in the morning. Mind you, we in Chicago. That's where we live, that's where we reside, that's where we from. So he like, yo, I gotta go to Atlanta. I have court in the morning, like 11 a.m. Mind you, it's 12 o'clock at night. It's like, no, it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night, right? And my cousin asked me and she like, such and such, you know, Sean just texted me or whatever and was like, do you want to go to the A, like ride with me, like y'all, do y'all want to go? Like, so my cousin like, should we go? She was like, no, I don't think we should go. Me, I'm the cousin that's like, I'm down with whatever, like let's go, we can pack up right now and hit the road. So she was like, is you sure about that? Like, I don't think we should do that. And I'm like, girl, what possibly can happen? We can go out there, drive out there, stay out there, go to court, and come right back to Chicago. Like, we gonna be good, right? She like, I guess so. And I'm like, girl, you 19, you grown at this point. What your mama gonna do? I'm 17, I'm 1 year away from being 18. Like, what? We can't possibly get in that much trouble, right? So, so she takes back Sean and Jimmy and like, she like, yeah, like, okay, we gonna go. Like, we finna pack our bags, you know, and meet us outside in the front. And that's what it is. Like, we gonna hop in the car and go with y'all, right? So me and my cousin packs our bags. Mind you, my bag's already packed because I'm already over her house. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm already supposed to be supervised by her parents. So, you know, I'm with her at this point. Like, we rolling together. We going down together. So me and my cousin pack our bags and she like, I don't want my mama to hear us leaving out. Because she used to have like a side door. Basically, they used to have a house, but they had a side door that with the lights always come on when you walking out, and that door make a lot of noise. Also, they had an alarm system that's like, I think they had that, what's that alarm system that's protected by, this house is protected by, they had that. So it'd be like beep, 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 front door, beep, beep, back door, that. So it was like, she was like, I gotta, you know, disconnect this or whatever like that so we don't make a lot of noise and stuff when we leave out. Girl, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Cause we finna go. We finna go. Okay? I don't care if we gotta climb out the window, the back door, the basement. I don't know. Figure it out. At this point, I'm ready to hop off the roof because I'm ready to go. So we eventually get out the side door. I don't know how, but we eventually make it out the side door. I remember it just being pitch black. They pulling up outside. Sean had a Mustang. It was a blue Mustang, and Jimmy in the passenger seat. They both hop out to grab our bags, right? So they hop out like, y'all ready? Da, 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 da. We just gotta stop and get some gas, and then, you know, we headed out. We like, yeah, so we putting our bags in the car and stuff like that. So we both, me and my cousin, we get in the backseat because this is a Mustang, but it's a coupe. It's a Mustang coupe. And I don't think it had any air either. Mind you, this is the middle of the summertime in Chicago. And we gotta go to Atlanta. It's gonna be hotter by the time we make it to Atlanta. But we didn't know that at the time. We just like, oh, we gonna ride with the windows down. Like, so we in the back seat, me and my cousin, like, oh my God, like, we finna go here. Like, we don't even supposed to be here. Like, but we doing it. So we like, okay. And mind you, these is my cousin friends. Like, none of us talk to each other. We just already just genuinely friends. And we just, you know, was in for a road trip. So we in the car, whatever like that. We get gassed up and we hit the road. I just remember going to sleep, like, you know, driving a little bit, a few hours. Then I fell asleep. And then we woke up in Atlanta. So we wake up in Atlanta. Me and my cousin, we was in the back seat, knocked out. I don't know how, but we got there. We was asleep the whole night. So we wake up, the sun is coming up, and we looking like okay, like, where we at? At the time, I didn't know like what part of Atlanta we was at, but now since I live here, I know exactly what part we woke up in. We was in Atlanta, and then actually no, we didn't wake up there. We did wake up there, but it was like we made it to like Sandy Springs area. I didn't know what that was back then, but I'm like, it's so beautiful. The trees is tall. This don't look like Chicago dirt. It don't smell like gun smoke. Like, this is nice. So I'm like, okay, we in Atlanta at this point. So we like, y'all, we hungry. We need to get some food. We don't got no money. None of us got no money. I think I probably on my last $20. Remember that? I have my last $20. I'm only 17. I have no money. I only have $20 to my name. They have none. Some of them we all probably had about $20 to our name, no cap, right? I don't even know how we made it to Atlanta. Sean and them had put the last of their money into, you know, Sean and Jimmy put the last money to get to Atlanta. They didn't think this out. We thinking, you know, we straight, we good, we just coming along. We riding along at this point. We being passenger princesses. So, but mind you, we all young. I'm probably the youngest. They all like 19. I think Jimmy was probably like 20. I don't know. 19, 20, 18. Like, we all young, right? We ain't got no money for real. So we like, y'all, we hungry. Where we gonna get some food from? We like, we don't know. So, and then Sean is like, you know what? I know a spot, which is Waffle House. At the time, we like, okay, Waffle House is cool. They gone, you know, it's breakfast. Like, you can't really go wrong with it. So Sean takes us to this Waffle House. We go to Waffle House. They gives us like all these waffles. They give us all of the food and stuff like that. We thinking, like, cause we don't really got no money. I don't know what Sean did, but he talked those people into giving us all some food. We didn't have no money. We had no money, but we had a lot of like food. So we get back in the car or whatever like that, and he like, I didn't pay my car note because he ain't got no money. He like, I didn't pay my car note. What if my car shuts off? Because they could shut it off from wherever they at. We in Atlanta, they in Chicago, wherever. He like, they might, you know, shut my car off. He like, what if that happens? Like, how we gonna get back home? And we like, I don't know. Hopefully it don't happen or something. I think it was something like his car didn't start and he thought they shut it off. But honestly, it just didn't start or something like that. I can't really remember all the pieces. But something within that happened. Eventually we get back in the car and get started. We gone. So y'all, at this point, we get our food. We go to we ended up going to like a Lamborghini lot. Like we was just driving around. We have nowhere to stay. We have no place to go. We have no hotel. We have no money. So at this point, I'm spinning. At this point, we make it to like a Lamborghini lot. It was like a car lot. So we make it there, we pull in, we see all the Lambos, we get out. And y'all, if I find all the videos and clips, I'm going to insert all these videos and clips because I know I have them. I have to just go through my archive from years ago. So we walking around, we make it, and then we just looking at the cars, very inspired, and then we hop in the car and then we, you know, we drive off at this point. Because what are we doing? So this is not a part of the plan. He like, I'm gonna miss court, because at this point when we arrived in Atlanta, it was already 10. I think his court was at 10 too, so we missed the court. Oh no, rewind back a little bit. We made it to Atlanta exactly around the time it was for him to go to court. We went to the courthouse. I don't know what happened, but I think they ended up rescheduling him again. That's what happened, right? Or something under that nature. He had to reschedule, so we was good. We was outside. So now we like, it's about that time. We need some showers. We need to change clothes. We don't got no money. We don't got no money. So, I remember us, I can't remember really what happened, but we ended up at, we hopped the gate and ended up at somebody's pool. And you know, we was outside taking pictures and stuff. Y'all, we was outside like menaces. We was taking pictures outside the pool and stuff like that. And then we like went about our day. So at this point, we like, y'all, we need to figure out where we about to stay. So we don't know how we finna get into a place. We don't know where we gonna go. We don't know. We don't have no money to do any of these things. But we make it to like a motel. Like a motel. It's like a ran down motel. I'm talking about kids living in there, like 10 to 20 people in one little unit. Like, they live here. They're not visiting. They live here. So me and my cousin looking around like, why are all these people? We're not used to this. You know, we're from Chicago. Our projects is very much different. So we looking around like, why are all these people, you know, like hanging outside the motel and hotel, and it's supposed to be a nice hotel. Well, it ain't that nice, but it's like, it was okay. And we looking like, what are all these kids doing? And we're like, oh my God. So we come to the conclusion they live in these. So we're like, okay, like that's different. So we paid no mind. Somehow Sean and Jimmy doing something on their phone. They finessing on their phone at this point. Finessing, you already know. They putting stuff in. They putting all kind of stuff in to the point where we end up with a hotel room. Somehow, hotel room, we ended up with a hotel room. We ain't had no money. None of us did. So if you guessed it, you guessed right. Yeah. We end up in a hotel room. He ends up getting another one. We don't know how. He did his thing. He finessing. He on his phone doing something. Ends up, now we got 2 hotel rooms. We good for the next like 3 days or whatever like that, right? So at this point, we get washed up, we clean up, the boys in one hotel room, me and my cousin in the other. It's like upstairs, downstairs, like. So we all get freshened up, but we need some swimsuits and stuff like that. So we go to a Walmart, right? We go to Walmart. This Walmart is going to be like the whole thing of the story, right? So we go to Walmart. Mind you, we still ain't got no money. So we go in Walmart or whatever like that. And basically, we just picking, my cousin, she picking up stuff. She putting it in the bag. I said, excuse me, mom. She like, girl, grab something, put it in the bag. I'm like, okay. Like, we trying on swimsuits and stuff like that. I remember going to the dress room trying on swimsuit. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get this in my head. It's my cousin. She threw it in the bag. I said, okay. Okay. $5 5-finger discount. Let's go. Clock that. So at this point, they like, y'all ready? We head out of Walmart. Cool. We got all our stuff. We got our swimsuits. We got, you know, everything we need. At this time, my cousin, she a professional at this shit, because I'm like, girl, how is you doing it without getting caught? So we don't even question it. We just go ahead. Now we like, y'all, we need some liquor. We need some drinks. Not even old enough to drink. Not even old enough. None of us are old enough to get in the club. So we like, yeah, we need some drinks and and all of that. So we head to a liquor store. When we get to the liquor store, y'all, mind you, we ain't got no IDs for real, cause we can't get liquor. So Jimmy and Sean and my cousin, they all like, you gonna sit in the car? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit in the car. They go in the store, they come out with liquor. They come out with liquor. Cheap liquor though, but liquor. They come out with wine. They come out with little, like, not the Four Locos, but the what is those? Those little the hard mics or whatever like that. All little bottles of Sugar Home, you know, just cheap liquor, right? So I'm like, how y'all get this? Now we lit, we drinking, we lit. We like, we need to go outside, y'all. So we go outside. At the time, I didn't know where this place was, what it was. I just knew we was outside. Now I know what the place was. We headed to Midtown, right? We in Midtown. I only know these places now because I live in Atlanta now and I'm familiar with the areas. And I realized when I moved here, like, oh my God, this was this place. This was this place. Like, you know, like you putting stuff together from years ago. Anyways, we was in Midtown. It was, y'all know about the church bar, the one that's like just the church bar, whatever that was. We was on that strip right there. I just remember us being outside and I think it was a YFN and Lucci song. It was You Just a Young Flag. Yeah, that song is playing and we all vibing, like we hear it, like we like, oh my God, we in Atlanta. I'm gonna insert all the videos, y'all. So like, we in Atlanta, So we just having fun. So then we end up at some lounge and this is where I bumped into some dude I was shooting I was shooting pool with. It was like an upstairs, downstairs. So we get in there. It's some dudes in there. They shooting pool or whatever like that. They like, yo, you want to shoot pool? I'm like, I ain't never shot pool before, but I play like, I don't know what I'm doing. My cousin ended up getting cool with the dudes or whatever. She ended up somehow in a smoke room in the inside of the little lounge club or whatever they had. And I'm looking for my cousin, like, mind you, this is around 2016, 2017 days. Dudes was wearing like the little headbands, you know, scarves tied around their head. Like, I just remember, I'm like, she went off with a dude with a scarf. So I'm asking everybody, like, where do you go, where do you go? So they direct me where they went, and it was like in a little, it was like a smoke room. So she in there smoking, I don't smoke, so I'm still upstairs shooting pool, whatever like that, but eventually I found them. So I just remember we all outside, everybody, and then we leaving outside the little lounge or whatever, and it was this dude, the dude that she was actually smoking with. He was like, everybody at CJ house, after party at CJ house, everybody come to CJ house. Like, that's all I remember them screaming. It was a dude just kept screaming, come to CJ house. I guess his name was CJ. So he's screaming, everybody come to CJ house, CJ. We're like, who's CJ? Where's his house? Somebody in our group ended up getting the address. I think it was my cousin. She ended up getting the address to the party or whatever like that. And we like, where's CJ house? Like, we finna go because this party sound lit, right? So we hop in the car, whatever like that. We find it. We driving around, can't find it. Can't find it. If y'all know Atlanta, y'all know, like, especially like certain areas, it's ducked off. The houses is like, could be up a hill, and it was actually on a hill. So we just like riding around, and then eventually we see everybody just going to the same place, and we like, that gotta be CJ's house. We park, we get out, we walk up the hill. Mind you, once we get out, we thinking we finna go to a normal party. We from Chicago. We don't know nothing about this Atlanta nightlife. We don't know nothing about the nightlife. We don't know nothing about the clubs. We don't know nothing about the party, the people, nothing, right? So we making a CJ house. We look around, like, we all stop at the door, like, and look at each other like, what did we just walk into? We see different races of people we not used to. We see white people, black people, we see Asian people, we see all kind of people, right? So we're not used to partying with everybody in one area at one time. So that was different from us. It was a real like culture shock. We never do that. If you know Chicago, you know it's a real diverse. You know, everybody stay in their own lanes. We got Cicero with all the Mexicans. We got the black people out south. We got the you know, the Caucasian up north, like it's real diverse, right? Everybody stay in their lane. But here, everybody was partying together. We walk in, we see CJ. No, we looking for CJ. We're like, where is CJ? It's a long line to CJ's room. Every flavor of females lined up to go in CJ room, right? And mind you, it's another room on the other side. It's a lot of other rooms. So we make it in there. They like, yo, what's up? It's like, I remember there was this big, tall, white dude, and he's just standing there, and he's like, hey, like, hey y'all. We like, what is this? What's going on? So it was this tall Caucasian dude, and he's just standing there, and he's like, y'all want some? Like, he had like beers, he had a bag filled with like different flavors of pills, and we like, what is going on? Like, what is that? I ain't never had that. I don't want none of that. You can keep that. So we sitting there, and like, he's just really saying like, you know, why y'all acting like that? You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to. We weren't very welcoming, mind you. We was on our Q's and P's. Like, we just like, I don't know what's going on. We gotta stick together, so let's stick around. Here's me and my cousin Sean and Jimmy, right? We all like, look. So anyways, eventually we get cool with everybody. They like, yo, you want to get on the ox? I end up getting on the ox. We playing Chief Keef. We playing all kind of music. They like, where y'all from? We like Chicago. They like, oh, we love Chicago. Da, 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 da. Round this is time Keith was at his peak. Everybody, he had made an impact a few years before, like 2012 to 2016 era, like in 2017. He made his peak. He was at his peak, right? Everybody was obsessed with Chicago. They wanted to be from Chicago. They was loving Chicago. Like, everybody loves like, yeah, that's what was going on. They like, yeah, we love Chicago. We want to go to Chicago, visit Chicago, you know, like that was the thing. So they're like, okay, cool. Like, at this point, my cousin, she's shaking butt in the hallway and all of that. Like, you know, I'm like, okay, we drinking. I see a long line of girls lined up. And I walk into this room. I walked off. I walked into this room. I just remember it being so colorful. It was like all right. It was an all white room. It was a bed with the little lights. It was a lot of pictures on the wall of girls, like in their boobs, like no tops. CJ, whoever this was, had a wall filled with naked women. Like, all their pictures was posted on the wall, right? He had cameras in the room. And he had just a bed, and it was like the lights. This is how I just remember walking in, and I'm like, what? And my cousin walks behind me. She like, well, what is this? I don't know. So I remember just picking up one of the pictures and just looking at it like, oh my God, it's a pile full of pictures. Like, he has piles and so many pictures of just girls that are naked with their boobs out. And I'm like, yo, what is going, like, what kind of house is this? So they like, huddle up, right? Huddle up. So we make it. Oh, and everybody that was going into the room back there, they was back there doing, you know, it was another room with lined up people, and they like, hey, everybody, all the girls go in such and such room, wait your turn to go in here. And I'm like, what? Me and my cousin, mind you, we had walked in another room. So all of them had Jimmy, Sean, them, they looking for me and my cousin at this point. It's a bathroom right down the hall. It's like a door. Imagine just walking straight, looking straight down the hall, and it's a door. It's like a black door. So we walk down. We all four of us going to the bathroom, and everybody's looking at us like, whoa, like all four of them going in the bathroom? No, we was having a huddle up moment. So we all went in the bathroom. They like banging on the door trying to distract them. And Sean is like, yo, we need a plan. We ain't got no money, but we got to leave with something. And we like, what you talking about? He like, we got to leave with something. And Jimmy like, yeah, we finna, you already know, like, these Chicago YNs, you know what I'm saying? So they like, we finna leave with something. So we like, okay, back in that room that we was just, that they found us in, that we walked in, because I walked in first, my cousin didn't walk in, and then they all kind of walked behind. So it was like, you know, we all seen what we seen in the room. And then they was like, basically, we gonna go back in that room, and we gonna we about to hit a lick. So we all walk back in the room. We leave out the bathroom. We all walk back in that, like we turn back in that room, close the door, lock the door. I'm talking about CJ and all I remember is CJ and Sean like running through the room like boom, 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 like George, just, and all I could do was just kind of look at the pictures because I was still stuck on the pictures, right? So I pick up one picture. They're like, y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to go? So I grab the picture. And like at this point, we leaving the house. We walk out. We walking out fast. They're like, yo, where you going? Da, da, da. Like, you know, the big Caucasian dude. We gonna call him Frank. Frank, like, yo, where you going? Da, da, da. See ya, Frank. See ya. We about to go. We got a blast. So we walking out. We make it to the car, whatever like that. And when we get in the car, they're like, yo, we like, what y'all got? What y'all got? They just had some cameras. It was a lot of equipment. Like, basically for them to take the pictures of the girls. So they took like all the equipment at this point. So they take the equipment or whatever. We go back to the hotel. We done hanging out for the night. We wake up next morning. We basically repeating the days over. We're repeating the days over at this point. We ain't got no gas. I remember we was taking turns. We just kept taking turns going into the liquor store. Everybody was taking turns taking the liquor or whatever like that. You know, everybody like, it's your turn, it's your turn. Mind you, I'm a scary pants. I don't do this. I don't do this. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go this time, make y'all proud. I come out with some, got boom, right? Some mics. So at this point they like, we need gas. I remember we pull up to another gas station. I remember it was like some Hispanic dudes. It was some Hispanic dudes that were like at the gas station. They went into the gas station. They was like lawnmowers, right? They mowed lawns. So when they mow lawns, you know, you had a gas tank, the big gas tanks with the gas. They like, we need that gas. Like, we need some gas. We ain't got no gas. I remember just hurry up, running out. Me, my little self. I ran out, ran on the back of the gas tank thing, took the gas tank, and we came back in. Like, I took the gas tank. So when I took the gas tank, at this point, like, taking the gas tank was crazy because we needed gas though. So eventually we filled that up and now we back on the road. So once we get to like back, you know, with gas and our car and stuff like that, it's fall nighttime. It falls to like dark time, nighttime, whatever you want to say. So I remember us going back to that same pool, hopping the gate, and then the police kind of like, or people saying like, hey, you can't be back here, da, da, da. So we hopped over the gate. I think Sean and them had hopped in the pool actually. It was closed. They hopped in the pool. I didn't hop in the pool. They hopped in the pool and jumped back over the gate. And somebody was like, hey, y'all gotta get out of there. So we hopped back over the gate and we ran and we went, you know, back. Just doing kid things at this point. So the next morning rolls over. At this point, we're gonna fast forward a little bit. At this point, we done been here for about 3 days. I think it was like 3 days. We was going on like maybe the 4th day. It was like a Friday or something like that. I can't really remember. Thursday, Friday. I can't remember the exact days, but I remember at this point, we like on the 3rd day. It's like, y'all, it's time for us to go home. This is where everything went downhill. Today it's time for us to go home. My cousin mama at this point, she texting her, like, we wake up the next morning, she texting her, where you at? Where you been? You ain't been home. I ain't seen you about 2-3 days. Like, where you at? She lied and told her we was in Champaign. Her mama had her location. Little did I know. But she was like, oh my God, she got my location. So she trying to everything to like, you know, lie and say like, we in Champaign, we here, they give her the runaround, and her mama like not going for it. At this point, her mama then called T-Mobile and asked them, oh no, she called T-Mobile and asked for her location or something like that. I think they gave it to her. I don't really remember, but she ended up finding out like, I think she was just spazzing. Like, y'all in Atlanta or something, da, 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 like, I don't know. I think she was, I can't remember if she found out when we was here or she ended up finding out when we got, no, definitely wasn't when we got back, but she was, her mama kept texting her, we was trying to give her to run around. I really don't remember how that went, but I just remember, I think she eventually ended up finding out from T-Mobile. I don't know. She was like, I didn't know she could do that, track me and all of that. And so her mama going off on her, she trying to distract her. She's like, I'm finna come home, da, da, da. So they like, I let them use my charger. Mind you, this is the day we about to hit the road and go back home. I gave Sean my last $20 to put in the tank, because I'm like, we need to get home. He like, how we gonna get home? We need to get home. We need more gas than what we had, and we've been driving around all day. We need more gas. So I get Sean my last $20 or whatever like that. And at this point, he like, okay, like, I'm gonna put this in the tank because we gotta go. So we goes to Walmart to grab a few more things. I don't remember what we went in there to grab, but I just know I needed a charger because they broke my charger, right? I lent out my charger to them, they broke it, it didn't work. I'm like, I don't got no money and we need a charger to go back home. Like, how is we gonna make it? Our phones is gonna die. I don't have no charger, none of y'all got no charger. Like, I need a charger, I need a charger. So we go on Walmart. At this point, I'm like, look, I walk to the charger aisle. I see Sean and all of them, they grabbing stuff, they pocketing and stuff. You know, my cousin walking around, they pocketing stuff. Me, the one who grabs one thing, which is a charger, I forgot I gave my money to Sean. So I'm like, okay, I'm finna get this charger. By the time I make it to checkout, I'm thinking I'm finna buy this charger. I'm like, no, by the time I'm thinking I'm walking, I'm like, I don't have the money to get this charger, so I'll walk out. I walk right out the door. I didn't even try to go through checkout and make it look good, nothing. I walk straight out the door. And at this point, Sean and Jimmy behind me, they like, yo, like, where your cousin at? We can't find her. Da, da, da. We can't find her. We don't know where she is, but I know I walked out. So I didn't know it was somebody walking behind us. Basically the security team or whatever. Not security, but yeah, security was person. Somebody managed me. They was in there watching the cameras. They would walk out. It's like a Jamaican or African man or something. He walk out. He like, you need to give me back that charge. He was like, give me what you took. Give me what you took. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? At this point, I didn't hit it. And Sean's like his car kind of like, I hit it on the tire part because I'm looking for them. Like, he didn't have his keys. I think my cousin had the keys. So we couldn't get in the car. So, or something like that. I couldn't really remember. Oh no, Sean had the keys, right? So I couldn't get in the car, but he was following behind me. Like, yo, where your cousin at? Where your cousin at? And the dude is following behind him. So eventually I make it to the car. He see us. He see me and the dude kind of talking back and forth. He not really knowing what's going on. He walk up like, what's going on? And the man is like, oh, she took a charger. She took a charger. Da, da, da. I'm like, took what? And then eventually I'm like, you know what? It's a $10 charger here. So I give it to the man. He's like, just come back inside for me. And he was like, I promise I won't take you to jail. This is that words. I promise nothing won't happen. I promise. Da, 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 da. But he's getting back up. And I'm looking for my cousin, like, where is she at? We need to hop in this car and just drive off. I'm like, where is she at? We all looking like, he like, where your cousin? Where your cousin? I'm like, I don't know. Like, at this point, we don't know where my cousin at. We hoping she walk out in 2 seconds so we can all hop in this car and drive off. That doesn't happen. The man is kind of grabbing me like, come on, walk in here. Like, you know, nothing to happen. I just need to make a report. Nothing to happen. Nothing to happen. I'm gonna let you go. So as he's grabbing me, they like, Sean and Jimmy like, where you taking her? Where you taking her? He like, no, I'ma just make a report. Like, she not gonna go to jail. Da, da, da. I make it in there. He walks me into the office. He walks me back into Walmart. I should have ran. He walks me back into Walmart, and he's like, sit. You know, they take me into the office and stuff like that and sit down. He was like, you're not gonna go to jail. Da, 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 da. He getting my information. I'm telling him. He like, you're not from here. I'm like, no, I'm from Chicago and all of this and da, da, da. So at this point, they have bigger problems. They have other thieves that come in there and they like taking everything. The man, I remember it being like a J in there. And the J was like, I guess they was used to her coming in all the time. And they was like, always letting her go because the police at this point was tired of coming to get her. So he was like, you know, I'm gonna let y'all go. And then something happened with somebody else. Right? Somebody else did something and he was like, I'm gonna just call the police. He was just lying. He already had them people down. He was lying. He was lying. He was lying. So the police eventually walks in or whatever like that. And they like, I remember the lady just talking real smart to me. She was like, oh, you the one, da 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 da. She's just going off. And I remember just laughing. She's like, why you laughing? I could charge you right now. I could take you away right now. Da, da, da. I'm like, baby, I got bail money. Like, go ahead. I ain't got no bail money. I'm 17 at the time. I'm like, but I know my people gonna come get me. So I'm silly. So I'm over there making jokes and da 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 da. Like, for back home in Chicago, something like this would be a slap on the wrist. Like, you know, usually they just let you go. Oh no, that's not how it works. In Atlanta, 17 is illegal. You going to jail. So, so at this point, they put handcuffs on me. They took down all my information. They put handcuffs on me. I'm walking out. My cousin and them, I can't really remember if they were still there. I just remember somehow I ended up in the back of the wagon and they transported me to DeKalb County. Once I made it to DeKalb County, that's where everything got crazy. It was, I remember it being just a lot of people, and when they put us in a holding cell, and it was late at this point because they just had us sitting in the holding cell all night. Like, we sitting in the holding cell. They process you, they do all that, take a picture. I remember having to take my shirt off. They gave me another shirt because I worked for Little Caesars before. Like, I had quit already and stuff like that. I had quit that job or whatever like that. It was like my school job or whatever. So I had the Caesar shirt on and they told me to take it off because they didn't want that in the picture, obviously. So they gave me another shirt to put on. And then we make it through like processing and all of that. They tell us to change. We strip clothes and all of that. And I'm like, I ain't never been to jail before. Like, oh no, rewind it back. We sitting in a holding cell. Oh yeah, they make you change and then they put us back in a holding cell. So we changed, they put us back in a holding cell. At this point, we got our orange jumpsuits on. I'm sitting there talking to a girl. She's like 7 months, I think she was 7 months pregnant or something like that. She was pregnant. I remember her just being pregnant. It was another girl who was actually locked up from that same Walmart. She was like, I wasn't even shoplifting. It was something that didn't scan on my receipt, and they said she was shoplifting. Whatever, however you put it, whatever they was asking for wasn't matching up with her receipt she had, so they took her to jail. And she was from overseas. She was like from the Caribbean or something like that, and she had to go back home or something. I just remember something like that. But mind you, the girl that's sitting on the side of me, she bawling her eyes out. Like, at this point, the girl is bawling her eyes out. She's like, oh my God, like, I've never been to jail before, and I'm pregnant. Like, I'm talking about her stomach big, like, dog, she was like finna bust. She almost went into labor. So basically, she basically, like, is just crying. I'm like, what happened? She was like, yeah, I was in the car. She was like, yeah, I was in the car, and my boyfriend, the police pulled up behind us, and he ran out. Like, he just ran or whatever like that. He ran in the house and left me in the car or whatever like that. They said she said when they searched the trunk, they had an AR-15, a pew, yeah. They had that Hannah Montana inside the trunk. I'm talking about boatloads, yeah. So, and it was a half of it, actually. It was a half of a, yeah, what you build a house with. So, she was like, yeah, and he ran in the house, and, you know, they asked me was it mine, and I told them it wasn't mine, and da-da-da-da-da. So they ended up she said she told them that it wasn't hers and stuff like that. So she ended up going to jail behind it because he didn't claim it. He already had ran in the house on her, and she was confused or whatever like that, and she didn't know apparently she didn't know what was going on and stuff like that, which I kind of halfway believed at the time. I believed her because, mind you, I was only 17 and I'm from Chicago. We ain't used to hearing no shit like that. Like, we ain't used to hearing it like that. So when I moved to Atlanta, then I understood everybody and they mama is off that. Yeah. Not me though. I don't indulge in that. But I'm just saying, it's real popular by the men down here. I didn't know it was like that. I didn't know they was coming like that out here. Like, yeah, so it was the norm. So at the time I'm hearing it like, girl, you sound like you finna go down like Gucci Mane. Like, I don't know if that girl is still in there, honestly. That was a few years ago, but to my understanding, she probably is. I don't know. I don't even remember her name. I just remember she was crying so bad in that cell. So I remember them coming in, giving us sandwiches, and all the girls in there like, what y'all in there for? But her store, we all was like, oh child, you ain't going home. We all like, we know we probably gonna go, but you, everybody telling me, like, I'm telling them what happened and all, I took a charger and all that. They like, girl, you gonna have court in the morning, go home and be gone. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, but my cousins, the little that I know, they was on the outside world panicking. I'm talking about heart beating, sunken in their chest. Like, yeah. So at this point, my cousin, this is what she told me. This is what all of them told me. I imagine I'm sitting in jail making friends. I'm like, you don't go home, yay. We waited for them to call us and process us, send us upstairs. Well, we already processed this point. At this point, we were just in a holding. They put us back in a holding cell for some reason before they sent us upstairs. So this is what my cousin. So mind you, I'm in jail eating jail sandwiches and Kool-Aid packets and all of that with the mayonnaise. She said they was panicking. She called her daddy that was all the way in New York to see it. She was calling everybody to send her bail money, right? She called her daddy that was in New York. She called, I think some of them, Sean had called some of his family or whatever like that. At this point, they called everybody. And my cousin get the bright idea to call one of my exes. At the time, that was my boyfriend. I was in high school. This was somebody who I was like in love with, but we ain't never did nothing. Like, it was like puppy dog love at the time. But he was like thorough, cause you know he was a person who was he was a getting money person. I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but he was getting money too. So, but he, you know, I was his girl, but whatever. So she texted him on Facebook and it's like, yo, when he needs some money to get out of jail or whatever like that, you need to send the money so I can get her out. And I guess they texted back and forth like, what's her bond? He thinks they lying to him to try to scam him and get money. So he like, I'm not sending no money because I done never met y'all before. He never met my cousin before, but I always speak to him. I mean, I always speak to my cousin about him. He never met my cousin before, so he didn't know, like, especially Facebook, that was random. So, and to get a DM, that was random too. So that's from what he told me at the time. He told me it sounded like they were trying to scam him and magic. He never met them before, so he ain't really know what to expect. Which is like, I understand it. So he's like, yeah, I'm not sending no money. I don't know them people they talking about they need this much for bail money and like, yeah. He didn't send the money. So my cousin calls her daddy in New York. I don't know, I think she got some money or something. I don't know how, like what happened. She was trying to Western Union money because, you know, Cash App and stuff wasn't a thing at the time. Cash App, Zelle, all of that wasn't a thing. So I think she was trying to get them to Western Union some money. That didn't happen. And then eventually, oh no, that did. I don't know how, but they ended up coming up with something. So Sean's sister lived in Atlanta. That's how they got my bond to go down. So we're gonna hold all of that to the side. Mind you, me, let's focus back on me. I'm in jail. They sent us upstairs. And let me say, it was like in the middle of the night. I remember it being so dark. They hand you a bed. They hand you, after you know you changed and all that, they hand you a bed and towels and all of that stuff. So that good stuff. So I make it upstairs. We sitting there playing like cards and stuff. I remember like it was a good time. I made it upstairs. I ended up playing cards and stuff with some of the girls. Like they taught me how to make a jail burrito. I remember just seeing a girl take a shower because I'm like, this is just so crazy to me. Like it's just so different. I've never been here before. So I'm just looking around. They taught me how to make a jail burrito. Yeah. And another lady was like, oh, I'm about to go on my cell and make me a pizza. Like, as everybody walking in, they was just like, you know, interacting with me. They're like, you look so pretty, like you so young and da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, baby. They looking at me like dog food, probably. But no, that was actually sweet. Y'all, I had a celly. The lady on my side was my celly. They was telling us like what sales and stuff to go in. She was my celly, whatever like that. I'm like, oh my God, this lady big. She gonna get me when I'm asleep. She was like, this my cell. Like, she already had her set cell. She was on the bottom bunk. And she was like, you can go to the top, whatever like that. So I put my bed and stuff at the top. She in there like, I'm gonna eat some pizza tonight. And I'm like, pizza? She cut the bread to like a shape of a pizza, like rolled the crust part up and put peanut butter on it. Child, after they was showing me all their food, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. But the only thing I was eating was the sandwiches and like it was some cookies. But other than that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat the cookies and the sandwich and go in the cell. So at this point, we gotta go inside the cell. We get in the cell. And at this point, I just remember a breeze like kept blowing. I'm like, it's cold, because I was at the top bunk. I'm like, it's cold. I remember just balling up and falling asleep. And then I woke up to them calling my name, and they was like, Winnie, da-da-da-da, you're going home. That's all I literally, like looking out the window. It was a window like this thin, top bunk that looked into the driveway of the DeKalb Police Department. I mean, not driveway, parking lot. I remember just, it was one car out there, and I just remember just going to sleep, falling asleep, looking out that window, and I just woke up in a heartbeat. You going home? So I'm like, yeah, I'm going home. So at this point, it's like 6 a.m. early in the morning, 6 a.m. Kid you not. They like, yeah, you going home? Da, da, da. So I get my celly, all my stuff. I leave her everything besides the bed, and I walk out. I put my clothes on. They, you know, you going home? Da, 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 da. So I remember just walking out, yo, and they outside like, ah! So they gave me a hug and started jumping on me. I'm like, yay, I'm home. I'm home. Like, I just remember being so happy that I was home. So that ended up happening. And we got in the car, like, it's point 6 a.m. They like, we going home, y'all. We going home. Like, we finna go home. And I'm like, yes, let's go home. Like, my cousin, like, I was in there out here going crazy. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I was calling everybody. Like, I could not leave. And all I could think about was you. Like, I wasn't even in there that long. I was probably in there probably a few hours. Probably like 10 hours tops. 7 to 10 hours tops, right? I went in. Actually, no. I was there from the next day, like the evening, 5 a.m. the next day, probably to like 6 a.m. the next day. But you know, as far as like going upstairs to the top bunk, I had just processed and went upstairs. We sat in a holding cell together longer than we was upstairs. So I remember it being late and they finally sent us upstairs, and I wasn't upstairs that long. I just remember falling asleep and waking up. I was upstairs probably 5 hours max, and then, you know, they called me, went home. But yeah, I remember just running outside. The sun was coming up a little bit. Like, it was probably the sunrise. Like, it was dark, but it was gonna be daytime. So you can picture that, how that looks. Like, you know, just imagine waking up for school. It's already dark, but then it becomes light. That's how it was looking. Like, yeah, we finna go home. We finna go home. So we hopped in the car, whatever, like that, and we just stopped at a gas station. I remember them playing First Day Out. They played First Day Out by T Greasy. It was that song that was that era. So that song was playing, and they was playing it, and it was like, it's my first day out, like da, da, da. Like, I remember just they was playing that, and we had videos, like, you know, just like, we finna go home, like. And then we hit the road, and then eventually we made it home back to Chicago. And then my cousin mama ended up telling my daddy. My daddy really didn't care like too much. He was just like, how did y'all do it? How did y'all make it? How did you end up in Atlanta before me? He was like, how was it? Like, he's just having all these, I think he's gonna be mad, but my dad is more the chill guy. He just like, girl. So we ended up going home, and my cousin mama was like, y'all can't hang out with each other for the rest of the summer. Da, 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 da. We was right back at it the next week. But that's pretty much the story time of me going to jail. And oh, and they showed me my mugshot too. If I could find it, I would have to ask my cousin to find it again, but I couldn't find it. Like, so that's pretty much the story time though of me going to jail. My first time ever at 17 in a whole nother state. And when I think back on it, I'm just thinking like, girl, I wasn't even wild for real, but it's the simple fact of just like, girl, how do you sneak out of town and go to jail, like, all at once while having fun and partying? I mean, that's typical, but at the same time, it's like not logical. I had no place like being there, and like, I know intentions on being there and doing all that, going to jail. But I made it home. We made it home at the end of the day. So, but if you stayed this whole story time, I thank you so much. Subscribe, and I'm probably going to have another story time very soon, because I literally want to do another one probably tomorrow. I don't know. But if you stayed for the whole video, thanks for watching. I hope you like it, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye.